Brooklyn Independent Television.
If spring brings April showers, May flowers, and thoughts of love, it also brings on a far less romantic condition, allergies. How do you cope with all those annoying symptoms? And how do you even know if what's making you miserable is an allergy and not just a cold? Healthbeat Sherry Carabin has some answers.
Basically in the springtime, in about April or May here, I get a very, very steady runny nose. If I'm outdoors for any length of time, my sinuses drain constantly, and basically that's the extent of it. But it's very tough to do anything outdoors for any length of time.
What's your John?
Dog.
Really?
Greg Sisk has allergies. The 44-year-old Park Slope resident grew up in Texas, and that's where he was first diagnosed.
I grew up in, it would have been the 70s, graduated high school in '83, had allergies ever since high school at the very least.
In 1995, he moved to Brooklyn, but that didn't put an end to his allergies. Over the years, he's seen doctors and tried various medications.
The over-the-counter medications, while they do alleviate the symptoms, they make you exceptionally drowsy. And it's very hard to function in the day-to-day world when at 3 o'clock you're fighting to keep your eyes open.
This year, he decided to undergo allergy tests at Allergy and Asthma Care of Brooklyn. Medical director Dr. Kasia Charlo says getting tested is the first step to getting a handle on allergies.
And I definitely do not want to. A lot of patients come and assume that they are allergic to only one particular things, and when we do their testing, we find that they are sensitive to, dust mites and to molds and to their pet at home. So I would say the first thing is to have a clear understanding of what the allergies are, and that can be done through an evaluation and through allergy testing. I'll bring the trays.
Dr. Charlo, who was also an attending physician in allergy and immunology at Methodist, Brooklyn, and Maimonides hospitals, determined that Sisk is highly sensitive to pollen, including tree pollen, which generally causes him to have symptoms from April to May.
To someone that doesn't have allergies, to try to explain what it's like, it would be essentially having a very severe cold for a month or a month and a half. Constant sinus drainage. It gets sore from the amount of fluid that the body produces, feeling tired.
Symptoms will vary from patient to patient, and so will the length of time that they last.
We have some eye drops here for patients who have allergic eye symptoms or allergic conjunctivitis. Essentially, it depends on what they're allergic to. If it's strictly tree pollen, they will have symptoms late February to early June. Obviously, a lot of people will have allergies to more than trees. They will have allergies to grasses and sometimes ragweed. And so you will have patients who will have symptoms throughout from late February to October. Some people are lucky, and those are people who have very mild, itchy, watery eyes, sneezing, coughing, but symptoms are essentially very mild.
So how do you know if you have allergies or just a regular cold?
It's very hard to tell the difference between the two. We usually tell patients that usually allergy symptoms shouldn't come with a fever and shouldn't come with severe throat pain. Good again.
Sisk decided that he's had enough of his allergies. So after getting tested, he decided to start taking allergy shots this year.
Allergy shots are, the only treatment out there for allergies. Obviously, they don't cure people of their allergies. They significantly decrease their symptoms so that they can function, often without the need of medication. Basically, what they do is that they boost the immune system, and they do so by increasing the tolerance to the specific allergens. And the way that this is done is by exposing a person to increasing amount of allergens.
The results are not immediate. Patients usually need to get shots twice a week for the first 3 months, and then once a month for 2 to 5 years.
They usually will see significant improvement in their symptoms 6 months after beginning treatment.
While shots may sound like the answer, they're not the first thing that doctors recommend. In fact, one of the best ways for people to control their allergies is by limiting their exposure to them in the first place, by keeping windows closed and checking pollen counts, and if possible, staying inside when pollen counts are the highest, usually during the early morning and late afternoon hours.
Other things like if they've been out, in the park, if they've been out for extended period of time, when they do come back into their homes, making sure that they change their clothes, that they can take a shower, so that they're not introducing the pollen that is basically all over them. They're not introducing that into their home.
If those things don't work, there are a host of over-the-counter and prescription medications that can relieve the symptoms. But as Sisk knows firsthand, they have side effects, one of the most prominent being drowsiness. And although people who have mild symptoms are not encouraged to consider shots, doctors do recommend them for certain patients.
Well, the immunotherapy is indicated for anyone who really has severe allergy symptoms, so severe allergic rhinitis, anyone who has allergic asthma. So if their allergies are triggering asthma symptoms, that's an indication to really start them on immunotherapy. For anyone who has sort of an unavoidable allergen in the home, so if you have a pet or a cat or a dog that they must be exposed to, that would be another indication for that. Or really for anyone who is tired of medication, wants to get off medication, and wants a more natural way to treat their allergies.
As for Sisk, the father of two says he's looking forward to his new course of treatment, even if the results do take a while.
If it takes a while and I can get through the day in the springtime without having to take any type of medication, then it's definitely worth it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
This is Sherry Caravan reporting for Healthbeat Brooklyn.
Brooklyn Independent Television on the BCAT TV network.